going to talk about how I personally got into collecting and how I can help you guys start a collection if you haven't already. First of all, who here owns a Saturn? Cool. Who here wants to buy a Saturn? All right, you want to buy a second one? Cool.
Who here's on the fence? Okay.
All right, so we are going to talk about how much you should expect to buy a Saturn for, the different models. We're going to be focusing on the North American Saturn because those are the more easily available here. We're going to talk about how and where to buy games because there's local shops, there's online. How do you do it? Where's the best place to buy them? How to archive your games properly. And we're going to take some questions. And I brought some games for us to play, so we're going to play some of those. So first of all, buying a Saturn. There were two models of the Sega Saturn in North America. There's the Model 1, which was my first Saturn. Had a little shiny front, had an indicator light, had oval buttons. Model 2 had the round buttons. This is a Model 2 Saturn that we have right here. It's got the little round buttons, there's no shiny stuff on it. From my experience, the Model 2 is a bit more reliable. I have 4 Saturns, 3 of them are Model 1s. 2 of them are broken. One of them was broken because I dropped it on purpose. And I should actually play that video later. But the Model 1 I've read online, much easier to mod. So if you ever come across a Model 1, if you already have a Model 2 and want to experiment with modding, apparently it's very easy to do that. I know there's like an $60 to $80 chip that allows you to play like burn games and import games and stuff like that without the need of like a cartridge or anything. I've never experimented with doing that. I'd love to. I'd love to do a little more experimenting with that. Also, you should expect to pay $40 to $60 if you see anything else higher than that. Tell the store owners they are idiots because I've never paid more than $50 for a Saturn. I got 4 of them. I paid like $40 to $50 for all 4 of them each. We were talking about this before the panel. There is a store in Jacksonville, North Carolina. They were selling a Sega Saturn for $200. Well, I mean, the reason they were doing that was pretty sleazy and really dumb. They're located right outside of a military base. That's the only place you could really get that stuff. So they're trying to do like a high markup on people who are less fortunate.
You'll run into that a lot in like flea markets and things like that, where people will try to jack up the price. A lot of resellers will do that. So yeah, just be careful.
I never introduced you. This is Jeremy Pierce.
Hi, I'm some random guy.
Yeah.
Hi.
Jeremy, I made him buy a Saturn about 2 years ago at MAGClassic.
And I keep on trying to find more games for it, and I just can't seem to find it. So, Mr. Saturnology, please inform me.
Thank you. All right, so buying a Saturn, I found Model 2s, more reliable. Pay $40 to $60. Don't do anything higher than that. Where to buy? Oh wait, I should go back. Controllers. Controllers are big. What you pull it out. This is a Model 2 Saturn controller, and in my opinion, is the best game controller ever made. There is a Model 1 controller, which is a little bit bigger, a little bit bulkier, not as comfortable to hold. Here, actually, we got one. Anyway, they got one in the game room if you want to play that. They got 2 Saturns hooked up. One of them with a Fighters Mega Mix if you want to play that. But Model 2 controllers, best controller ever made, in my opinion. Buying games. eBay is pretty good. I hear some good stuff about eBay. I found some pretty great deals on eBay. I bought my first game lot that way, bought my first import games that way. It's a very beautiful place to buy games.
Yeah, and the thing about Saturn games in particular, the thing is like, people always love to sell like PlayStation 2 games, NES games, Super NES games, a lot of Nintendo stuff. Yep. As far as Sega goes, usually about the Genesis and the Dreamcast, and the Saturn gets criminally, overlooked. So really, your best options are marketplace sites like eBay or Amazon Marketplace.
Yeah, especially if you were looking to get like a lot of games up front all at once, buying a big lot is the easiest way to do it. One of my first lots I bought for like around $30. Had like Street Fighter Alpha 1 and Alpha 2 in it, X-Men Children of the Atom, like a lot of really good stuff, like all the virtual cops and everything. Also, in terms of games you should be looking for, who have seen one of these before? It is back when the Saturn was starting to die, or becoming less popular, Sega released these. It includes 3 of the best-selling games for the system on it. It has Virtua Fighter 2, the first Virtual Cop, and the first Daytona, which there are 2 Daytonas on the Saturn, and the original one is the best. It came in this dumb little cardboard box. It comes with all 3 games in these little sleeves. This one. There we go. It has all 3 games in these little sleeves here. What's nice about this is insanely cheap. You can buy each of these games for like $1, and they're like some of the best games on the system. Even if you get the box, each come with their own little black and white label. But yeah, easiest way to get Saturn collecting, start with the arcade ports. They're the cheapest games on the system, and they're some of the best on the system, in my opinion at least.
Good little starter deck for you.
Yeah, it's a starter deck of games. And on eBay, always look for the people who don't know what they're selling. I bought a copy of Saturn Bomberman. Granted, it was the Japanese version, but I got it on eBay for like $3. The American version typically retails between $100 and $200. I should also put on here. Importing is actually really lucrative. Let me get that cartridge out. I want a Saturn cartridge actually. When you become a Saturn owner, this little thing is going to be your best friend. This is an Action Replay 4M Auto Plus card. If you're familiar with like action replays, like cheat devices like Game Sharks and stuff like that, this is like in the same vein as that. You can do like cheats and stuff like that. But it also acts as a way to bypass the Saturn's import stuff. So you can play Japanese games on an American system. Some Japanese games have like a RAM cart that is necessary. So like the Capcom and SNK fighters, they require like, like the N64 expansion pack. Like games like Perfect Dark or Donkey Kong 64 require like a RAM expansion in order to play them. Same with the Saturn. A few select games required that. So like X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Street Fighter, the SNK fighters required additional RAM to play. And this will allow you to do that. It has like built-in RAM in there. But some games, like SNK fighters, may require like a 1 meg RAM card. The Capcom fighters require a 4 meg RAM card. This will go between the 2. Although I have had some problems with getting SNK fighters to run, but for like 1 meg games, it has trouble switching between them. I know they made ones with like a switch that can do the difference and everything like that, but if you're looking to just get into simple imports, this is a good thing to get. It's also still readily available. PlayAsia.com is where I bought this. You can get it for like $30, $35. And it's really cheap to play import games. And the American games, like the good American Saturn games, are going to be really expensive no matter where you look. But usually the Japanese versions are going to be much, much cheaper. Like Panzer Dragoon Saga is like a $200 game in America. In Japan, it's between like $10 and $30. And same with like House of the Dead on Saturn, like $180 game, like $10 on Japanese Saturn. I mean, granted, there's going to be a language barrier with some, like mostly RPGs, there's going to be a language barrier. But like stuff like, I guess, Sonic Jam, I have the Japanese version. There's like no kanji, no Japanese text at all in that game. A lot of these games are fully still in English, and they're still really easy to play and get around. And if some games have kanji, you can like kind of feel your way around.
Yeah. I mean, most of the best games on the Sega Saturn, aside from RPGs, are pretty foreign language friendly. Some of the best games from Sega Saturn are games that only came out in Japan.
Yeah.
So, definitely don't be afraid to import or experiment with
Lots of 2D shooters.
Yes.
Saturn was very famous for being a 2D shooter heavy console. And not a lot of those came out here. Like, I think the big ones that really came out here were like In the Hunt, Galactic Attack, Darius Gaiden, stuff like that. They released like Radiant Silvergun. You guys probably heard of that. It was on the Saturn first, besides the arcade at least. Or like Sokyu Bruentai, that's also a real good one. There's a bunch of Saturn shooters that would be its own panel, just shooters on the Saturn, because there's so many of them and they're all excellent.
Like with most Sega properties, it's all about the arcade style games.
Yeah, and even on the Genesis, like there are a bunch of shooters on the Genesis, that the legacy carried over. I should get on to Amazon. You're going to see Saturn games on Amazon for like $200. Don't ignore that. That's like Amazon's like prices, like stuff inflates and stuff like that.
That's for like brand new games, right?
Yeah.
It's still from there.
Yeah, but there's going to be a bunch of third-party sellers on Amazon where you can buy them individually. Most of the time, those games are going to be without their cases, but if you're like me, who just wanted to play the games, that's also a good way to start. Like, you can get a lot of pretty pricey games on Amazon for pretty cheap, depending on the seller. Like, I got a complete copy of Stall, which is like this gorgeous, beautiful, like 2D platformer for like $8, and that's a pretty pricey game, and it was complete. Like, the guy, I guess he didn't know what he had. And I should...
Always try to swindle people is what we're trying to tell
Yes,
you.
yes. Swindling is the best option. When I started collecting back in like mid to late high school era, like 2009, 2010, I didn't have like a debit card or way of buying stuff online, which is why I put Coinstars underneath Amazon. I used to carry like a bunch of change with me, like just had a change jar. Coinstars, you can turn those into Amazon gift cards, and it's like they don't have an extra fee if you do it that way, so they don't take any money out. I bought a ton of Saturn games with my spare change by taking it to Coinstar. That's how I got most of my collection for like dirt cheap. That is, a lot of people kind of overlook that.
Save your pennies, kids.
Save your pennies. They actually buy you video games. Local shops. I put buy with caution here because most local shops I've gone to, especially local ones, they don't know how to price their shit at all. Sports games, for example, like Frank Thomas' Big Hurt Baseball for like $10 to $15. No, don't buy sports games for $10. Even though if they're games I don't have, and I probably should get around to getting them. I'm not going to buy them because they're $10. Or like
$10 isn't a whole lot of money, but it's the principle of the thing. Right?
It's a sports game. You should pay $2 for a sports game. Or like. I mean, I've gotten good deals at local shops. Like, I would, just ask around, ask for Saturn stuff. And, I mean, if you, like, bundle stuff together, try to, like, I guess, swindle them as best you can. And, I mean, I've got a lot of good stuff from local shops, but in my experience, buying local, at least where I live, you don't see a whole lot of Saturn stuff. That's why I like to go out of town and buy stuff locally that way.
And we can pull a Game Chasers for just 1 second.
Yeah, if you want to pull a Game Chasers, I highly recommend doing that.
Yeah, definitely try, if you run into some local people, especially like a flea market or a local shop, try to haggle just a little bit. People just see how dead set they are with the prices.
It also helps to know people. Like, I met this one guy, I go to a local bargain shop place in Wilmington, and I guess one of the guys he knows had a bunch of Saturn stuff. And I bought like this massive stack of Saturn games, like $40 to $60. And you never know who you're going to know that actually has Saturn games. I guess just know your people.
Always ask too.
Always ask, because it's stuff I never see, and I always ask. Archiving. So, yes, notepads are your friends. I had Jeremy put this together.
I put this together in like 10 seconds.
Yes. I mainly want to put archiving here because I found this amazing app on, I don't know if it's on Android, it's like $3 on the iPhone App Store. It's called Saturn Collect. This actually is not a good place to show it, but it archives every single North American release on here, has all the art. You can even add your own posts for like Japanese games that aren't on here. You can archive it any way you want, and you can also export it as a spreadsheet, which is really nice if you want to keep track of it that way.
What's that name again?
It's just called Saturn Collect. I probably forgot to put my Twitter ID on here. I was going to link everything I talk about here onto my Twitter, which is @ActBlazer on Twitter. But I'll put that up there. But yeah, who's got some questions they would like to ask about Saturn collecting?
What are some of the modifications you talked about earlier? I know we're getting a few minutes late, but the first model is being easier to modify.
So there's a special chip that you can install in your Saturn, like through soldering or like, just mainly through soldering, that allows you to like bypass the region lock without the need of a cartridge. But also it allows you to put like burn games, so you can burn games on CD and stuff like that. I mean, I've actually never done that. I'd like to experiment around with that because there's going to be a bunch of games that are way too expensive for me that I'm probably never ever going to buy that I would like to try out.
I'll tell you right now, you solder a single cable from the mod chip to the motherboard on the Saturn, and you move 2 power cables to go into, one to go into the mod chip and one to go back to the motherboard, and that's it.
Okay,
It's
so
5 minutes of work.
yeah, it's not. I mean, if you're not afraid of soldering, I guess it's a really easy thing to do. Like, I've never really messed around with soldering until I fixed a Sega CD a few months ago. And you know, it's super easy. Like I've never done that before. Soldering is really easy to do, and that mod chip I think is around $60, $80
Yep.
on that price. And you know, if you don't want to keep going through like a bunch of menus, I guess it's not a bunch of menus, it's like a couple menus to go play import games. It's another alternative is to use mods. Any more questions?
What are like some of the good Saturn games?
So some of the good Saturn games I actually brought with me here. That probably puts us where we're going to play some games too. A lot of these games are actually, where did I put them? Let me get them. A lot of these games I paid a few bucks for, and others don't cost anything at all. By anything I mean like $5. And yeah, so some games I brought that we could talk about. I mentioned Galactic Attack earlier. It's like one of the few American 2D shooters on the system. I got for like $10, which is really good compared to other 2D shooters. I go for like $30 to $40, like Darius Gaiden and In the Hunt. Look, those are really expensive, and Galactic Attack is actually real cheap. And it's also on the iPhone App Store as a Ray Force. I believe it's what it's called on there. And the Japanese version is called Layer Section. And it actually did get a couple sequels on the PlayStations, like Ray Storm and I guess there's another one. Yeah, Ray Storm was one of those mini sequels. And you guys like Golden Axe on the Genesis? Original Golden Axe?
Come on.
Man. It never got a true sequel to Saturn, but it did get a fighting game on the Saturn called Golden Axe The Duel. Way better than I imagined. We'll actually get into that and play some of that. Who likes puzzle games? Tons of puzzle games on the Saturn. My favorite is Puyo Puyo 2. I have 2 copies of this. If you like Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine or Kirby Avalanche, you know, the same kind of game. I believe this is actually the same game as those versions. It's just the Saturn version. Also, Magical Drop, also a real good puzzle game. Baku Baku is also real good.
Was Gate of Thunder, was that a Saturn game?
What was that?
Gate of Thunder?
Turbo CD, but also real good.
Okay.
Gate of Thunder is really fantastic.
A little plug for the...
A staple in the arcades when I was younger, Die Hard Arcade.
Oh my God.
Only on the Saturn.
Oh my God, I didn't know they made port.
Yeah, it only got a Saturn port. Yeah, it's one of the more sought after versions of the game. Well, the only version of the game, more sought after games on the Saturn. I paid around $20 for it. Yeah, it's still real fun. If you like Dynamite Cop or Dynamite Deca, those kinds of games. This is like the precursor to those. This was like the original Dynamite Deca, and it came to America as Die Hard Arcade. What else? In the game room, Fighters Megamix, real good. Probably the best 3D fighter on the Saturn. That's not Virtual Fighter, because it's got all that stuff in there. We're going to be playing all these, and my personal favorite genre is racing games, so we'll get stuff like Power Drift, which is the most expensive game I've ever bought. This was like $50. Which actually they just announced that they're bringing this to 3DS and the Sega 3D Classic, which is great. And no introduction, but we got Sonic R as well. All right, so who wants to play some? Oh, yeah.
I got a question.
Yeah.
You mentioned first virtual cop on there.
Yeah.
Did the Saturn have a light gun?
Yes, it did.
Was it any good?
So, well, I think I have a picture of it on here somewhere. Oh, you know what? I actually don't have any pictures of it. Now that I remember, I probably deleted them. But yes, the Sega Saturn. Are you familiar with the arcade games like Lost World Jurassic Park or the House of the Dead 2? You know like how that light gun looked? It's the exact same mold, so it's the exact same light gun. So it's just orange. It's got one button and a trigger on it. Works great. I have like 2 light guns. One of them's like a third party. The other's the stunner. I go with the stunner every time. It's like their version of the gun con. And yeah, it's a real nice light gun. I wouldn't expect to pay too much for it. Probably, I guess, 15 to 20 is probably the max I'd pay for one of those. But yeah, it's a real nice light gun. Anyone else?
Oh, sorry. One more.
Yeah.
Do you need a CRT? How well does it scale on a modern television, if at all?
So I mainly play it on my HD TV at my place because I don't have a CRT. I don't have the room for a CRT, and it looks fine. I mean, it's granted you're gonna have a lot of games are gonna look weird, like especially like that era of games on the HD TV. But I mean, yeah, CRT it definitely does look better on CRT for sure. But HD TV, I play on there. It's okay. It's fine.
Okay.
But yeah. You had a question?
The arcade stick, the Saturn arcade stick, you know?
Saturn had a bunch of arcade sticks. I got 3 of them.
Oh, yeah, I think it's the first party one.
Yeah, the Virtua stick,
Yeah.
that's a real good arcade stick. The only problem I have with it is that it's not heavy enough.
Yeah.
It's not a very heavy stick. I wish I actually put like a bunch of pictures on here, but I don't have internet here. Yeah, it's a real nice arcade stick, but I don't know if I'd recommend that particular one. I mean, it's a great stick for what it is, but the ASCIIware Saturn stick, it's if you like clicky arcade sticks, that's the one to get.
Okay.
Yeah. And I paid like next to nothing for that. There's also the Eclipse stick, which is like a real tiny arcade stick. It's not bad, but it's not the best. But it's a nice alternative with like a tiny stick. But yeah, any other questions? Yep.
Do you have Mr. Bones Wild Ride?
I have Mr. Bones, yes, I don't like it very much. I paid $30 for it, and it's not a very good game. In my opinion, it does a lot of really weird stuff. It's like, if you like FMV stuff, it does a lot of cool stuff with full motion video and how it makes a bunch of different gameplay styles in like a massive game, but it's just way too hard. Like, it's a very unforgiving game, and I just really can't get into it at all. Anyone else wants to play some games? Yeah. All right, let's play some Saturn games. I don't know how to switch the inputs on here.
It's the best.
Yes.
I got a response on the Die Hard Arcade. Who wants to play Die Hard Arcade? You. Who else? It's a two-player game. Who else wants to play it? Anyone else want to play Die Hard Arcade? You? All right. He gave me the controller down here. It's in that bag. This is a third-party controller. It's not great, but it works. Oh, my battery died. Another thing I should talk about. Saturn has internal memory. It uses like a little watch battery, and when it dies, you see this. Yeah, it's 94, right? That's fine. So yeah, what's nice about that action replay card, it also acts as a memory card. So like, say you lose all your save data because your battery died. What I do is I back up all my memory saves to the cartridge. So the cartridge is on the right. So you got all that good stuff. And you can copy and delete it over to the regular Saturn if you want. It's a nice thing to have. It's got regular cheats. This is what appears when you plug in the action replay card. Since we're not playing any imports, nothing will really be weird about it. But yeah. So this is Die Hard Arcade. When did this come out? Like 96, 97. I don't know why I got the Die Hard name on it, but whatever. I don't think we're gonna have any sound on it either.
It kind of looks like Yamaha.
It kind of does. I believe his name in the Japanese version is Bruno.
Yeah,
Bruno something. I don't know.
I got Dynamite Copter a few years ago. I think that's right.
Yeah, on the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Didn't Bruno appear in Project Cross Zone?
He did actually. Yes.
Wow.
Which is awesome. Also, they just announced they got this on Shiro and Project Cross Zone 2.
Yeah!
Yeah. And,
And the romance scene with him and Sonic.
yeah, I saw that. That was pretty insane. But yeah.
I kind of got to see the opening.
Yeah. The only thing that's weird about it is that, like, if you're not used to playing these kinds of beat 'em ups, the controls are kind of stiff. It's a very different kind of beat 'em up if you're not used to it. You know if we can get sound out of it at all? Or?
What is Deep Scan?
Okay, Deep Scan is a dumb little Sega arcade game that they just happen to throw on here.
Sorry, I pressed down.
No, you're good. We can show you Deep Scan. You're a little boat, you have to shoot stuff. You just drop stuff off your boat and hope something hits it. And that's Deep Scan. If you hit it once, it just takes you back to the main screen.
It's a depth charge.
Pretty much, yeah.
I need more
As slow as
trouble.
possible.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, hit
I
myself.
thought you didn't want to say that.
And that's it. That's deep scan. Okay, next scan. Oh, hey, we have noise.
No,
Anyone remember the girl from Die Hard? My favorite character. See a lot of fun. You can also beat each other up. I don't think it actually affects your life bars. Oh, yeah. I've never even beaten this game. You only get like 4 continues.
That's great. You fight the Kung Fu Man.
You go into a bathroom fighting out peeing, you fight naked dudes.
Yeah, you fight firefighters who show up for no real reason.
Yeah. This game was also one of the first to really incorporate quick time events that I've really noticed. Like, this is pre-scheduled stuff.
Did I pick up the gun?
Yeah, you can pick up the weapons.
And you see a little bit of each one. I think that's a magazine.
Yeah.
Don't shoot me.
I get it wrong.
So the controls are going to be pretty stiff if you're not used to a game like this.
Here, there's a white film there.
For some reason, you can't attack.
And you can arrest people if you hit the gun with them on the ground.
Yeah. Okay, so up here is a quick time event, I believe. Yep.
You just press the button or punch them.
Nice. I have no time for you.
But one of the main draws of games like these is that the amount of weapons that you have. Oh, yeah. So like, instead of grandfather clock, oh, there's a guy with a rocket launcher. We can pick up that trash can and throw it at someone. Yeah, pick up that rocket launcher.
Yeah, I like throwing the trash can. That's the best part of the game.
Yeah, I arrested. Yep. You just have to like the easiest way to do it is just pick them off the ground and then just.
So, how do you run?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's just like a basic beat 'em up pro stuff. Yeah, it's just a guy coming out of the thriller track.
I was about to say it's really wild.
Remember that part in Die Hard where Bruce Willis picked up my grandfather's lock and threw it at a dude?
Yeah, that was my favorite part.
The part in Die Hard where he fought with the fire.
Yeah.
Want to make a guy with that?
I always thought that the overweight biker
Yeah.
was such a better build.
Part of the other people that try to bring forward that.
Oh, we haven't gotten that one show yet. This game gets ridiculous.
Why? That's always the funny thing when they put beat 'em ups on a home console.
Yeah.
Because they're balanced to steal quarters from you.
Yeah. They just give you like a certain amount of credits, I guess. But there's a part where you're fighting robots, and that's where it gets pretty.
Oh,
The robots can like kill you with like a laser beam like 2 hits. So you notice it cut off there. I guess my Saturn's getting kind of old and didn't. Oh yeah.
Well, they're just always hiding somewhere right next to
I like the part where she's hiding in the briefcase. I don't know how she does it. But you'll notice with some Saturn games, like you notice how the audio got cut off there at the end is because it didn't load fast enough for the cutscene to play through all of it. But, you know, that's kind of a thing with CD consoles, especially stuff this old.
Oh, lost my shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, where'd your shirt go? No, that was your jacket.
Yeah, you lose more clothes than I could.
You like that part where they kill people with spray cans? played the later Dynamite Deca games, but they get pretty insane.
Yeah.
You'll get the costumes. Some point, like, we played Dynamite Deca EX like a year and a half ago. You remember that we played in that Monster?
Oh, really?
Yeah, the one weird beat 'em up that was kind of like this, where we got a bunch of costumes and just like each costume was like a different moveset, and it was really strange.
How do you buy items?
You have to find the item, so like you have to spray can it out, you have to find a lighter or something.
Well, I combo.
Oh, here's your favorite part.
Yes, I remember this, I always was curious, like, why?
Oh, shit.
Nice dodge.
Why is it here?
Remember that part of Die Hard where the fire truck came in and just sprayed water all over Bruce Willis?
My favorite part.
Oh, when the fire has the guns.
I don't think they're actually supposed to be part of it.
No, I put the gun on the ground again. I got to get one. No, I just have some. Oh, no, I have to go hard.
I don't think water actually works.
No, it knocks you over and it's dropped on your hole.
Probably after this one, you want to wear this game. I'll do sidecar for you guys.
No, the grapple. Oh, I can't get up.
Jeez, I thought barrels were sensitive to first-person shooters. Here they explode.
Yeah, you just got a bunch of it there, just like, no, I don't like that.
They get up.
Yeah. Almost dead. Come on, more. Oh, there we go. All right. So yeah, that's Die Hard Arcade. It's
Exciting.
not super expensive, but it's also one of the better games on there. You want to do another quick time with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Oh, we missed the bathroom part. Well, you got to buy the game now.
That was just a tease.
All right. So you guys want to play Sonic R? Yes. You guys want to play Sonic R? You can't play Sonic R without the music.
Yeah.
All right. Good. So yeah, you want to hand the controller over? It might be easier if you like swap controllers, because player one can be on that side.
I was, the reason I got Saturday, I was
Oh,
yeah,
it's gonna keep doing this every time.
there's 3 different game difficulties,
There we go.
and they'll actually change the
This is supposed to be action replay menu, so just keep hitting play button.
but you get fewer credits for each of them.
So Sonic R got released on the Saturn in 97, 98. It also got a PC release, and then in 2005 got released on the GameCube and the PS2 in Europe.
Sonic Gems
Yep. The Sonic Gems Collection version is based off the PC port, so the Saturn version noticeably looks much worse.
There's a PC version.
There's a PC version. That's how I first played it.
Same here.
Yep.
I didn't know there was a PC port until I got it.
GameCube port based on the
Yeah,
PC. It's
like,
like
there's
like that
whole
whole
pack
pack
of
of
Sonic
stuff
CD,
like that.
Sonic 3 Knuckles with horrible MIDI, and Sonic R.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you could, but you could put the music.
Yeah, just go
You
to
could listen
go to
it.
News Game.
Or not.
Unfortunately, we don't have over here.
I hope there are not feeds.
Yeah, go to. I'll let you guys play like 2 courses before we go on to the next one. Yeah, it's like, and it's more like half of the game you're going to be playing through. This game only has 5 tracks.
They all start with number 2.
Yeah, but it's got like.
Yeah, look at that draw distance.
Go!
Oh my god.
So,
This is amazing.
So, again, I'm like one of the few people that like this game unironically. I absolutely love this soundtrack. Like, not joking around, I think it's actually like real good.
No, I agree.
Yeah, it's real good. It's on backwards. Well, so we're talking in here, that's what you said for sure.
It actually kind of.
Don't say like what you say.
Like the draw, like the draw distance is better. Like on player. One thing I'll give them credit for is how transparencies they do whenever like when it comes to the frame. It's like that was pretty technically advanced for the Saturn. Like it couldn't really make like two transparencies for this. So I'll give them that. I do think the art style is massive. Like the characters look awful. So there's also a you just
How light?
I think the best course of the game that demonstrates how bad of a course design this game is a people room.
Hey, somehow, jump on blood.
I love that track. I like the soundtrack. But like, that's not a one-sided course at all.
Keep doing, there's these sharp turns, but if you try to get the
Yeah, there's like a bunch of airlift track.
Yeah,
And Regal Ruin had arrows to tell you which way to go.
Yeah, but then it doesn't tell you where to go after that. Amy. Why is this?
Oh, don't pick Amy.
Yeah, it's a car.
okay, wait. I think that, yeah, it's a little.
Radical City.
I think
It's radical.
this one's my favorite.
Radical City is probably the easiest track because it actually has like,
It has some easy choices.
yeah, easy shortcuts, and you also know where you're going most of the time as a path. I mean, what they were going with the level design is trying to make it more like a Sonic game where you can explore the levels, you find all the points and castles and stuff. So Amy is the slowest character, but she's got a car. But she can go over water easily, but also if you press C or B, so C or A allows you to like speed boost that recharges every 2 seconds. When you have the top, Amy on the top right, next to the timer, you see a tire, and you can do your speed boost. Oh yeah, absolutely. Way too fast. Yeah, you gotta go that slow. Get the back, go that slow. Yeah. Come on, Amy. Yeah, go that checker. Yeah, that's it. Just run up and there you go. It wasn't easy to tell about it. Yeah, this is easy to figure that out.
This kind of isn't the best game to play first thing in the morning.
If Jason's not here, you probably have a bad I like all of them. Even that note, there's no bad songs.
Who is the singer in these songs? Where did she go?
I don't know, some composer's Richard who still does music for Sega. He still does some music.
It's still on music for All-Star Racing Things 4.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you collect rings to open up gates and activate boost pads with them. So that game renders at 60. And some of these gates will have coins, which will unlock other gates which allow you to get the allows you to get the chaos circles. You get all the chaos circles, you unlock supersonic, and that way you can play the final track with the supersonic racing. That was Sonic fighting game. Sonic the Fighters actually never got a Saturn release.
Really?
It never got a home console release until Sonic Gems. Yeah.
It was supposed to have a Saturn release, but it didn't pan out.
Yeah.
And then you can also find residual data for characters that they had planned to include in the game, such as Rocket Metal Sonic, Eggman outside of his little robot.
And also like a version of Honey from Fighting Vipers in this. Or Candy. So this game is Golden Axe the Duel. If you like Street Fighter, this will probably be your alley. They just give it an A.
Oh boy, that's loading.
I haven't played this since I bought it. I hope this still works. There we go.
That was the normal loading time.
Oh, yeah, just go for a second. Stars all of your favorite Golden Axe characters like Zoma, Jam. Green. Oh, be green.
Now loading.
Now loading!
Yeah, you gotta pronounce the exclamation mark. Yeah.
Isn't that just Blanca, but with like spikes?
It's a 6-button fighting game that's same made as Street Fighter. Top buttons are your punches, and bottom are your kicks, like yeah, so that's the I don't know how to do them per character, but
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, this is kinda awesome.
yeah, it's not a bad fighting game, and no one ever talks about it. Like, oh Jesus. I think I broke one. No, it's over. But yeah, it's a 2D fighter that I know anyone else talking about. Yeah, this is the US version. Also got a Japanese version. I want to punch that guy! I want to!
Is that Shovel Knight?
He's been working out a little bit.
Oh, Shuffle, though, you forgot to take your game suit off. Oh no.
Duel 1!
Duel 2. Fight!
I love that his name is Death Adder, because he adds death to everything he's involved
Alright, you guys can do like one more. He's a sneaker. We got like 13 minutes left, so. Yeah.
This is definitely a game of its time.
Yeah, for sure.
How long are the loading times?
They're like, it's like nothing at all.
Duel 1. Fight! Duel 2. Fight!
Let's go to the next duel. It's actually really cool. Alright.
Anything to do on it explodes.
Yeah.
This next one is a one-player game. Let's do it. It's a racing game.